Who investigates has been digging into the history of both the cargo ship and the barge operator involved in this collision. Let's bring in investigator Robert Arnold with that part of the story tonight. Robert?
Investigators with the U.S. Coast Guard and the National Transportation Safety Board are trying to figure out exactly how that tow vessel collided with that barge while supposedly it was pushing it towards the Bolivar Peninsula. All the vessels involved in this accident are owned by Kirby Inland Marine. And while investigators continue their work, we went along with cleanup crews who are trying to sop up some of the crude hitting the shoreline. Oil-soaked booms lap against the shore as floating patches of oil linger on the waters of Galveston Bay and the Gulf of Mexico. Large chunks of oil are also being dug out of the sand as propane-powered air guns help scare away birds from landing in this mess. All of this was triggered when the tow vessel, the Miss Susan, collided with a barge during foggy conditions while navigating the waters of the Texas City wide. How exactly this happened?
Visibility, the traffic, the meeting and crossing arrangements, all of those will be pursued completely.
This is also not the first incident for the Miss Susan. Coast Guard records show more than a dozen incidents over the last decade. 2 of those involved collisions, although nothing this severe. Houston attorney Mike Doyle has filed lawsuits against Kirby Inland Marine and other similar companies in the past on behalf of injured workers. He says data collection is key in these types of investigations.
Well, depending on how they're equipped, and Kirby obviously is a company that has plenty of resources, there may be black box type information that you can look at. There's also radar information. The port has its own system of monitoring vessels in the port that you can go try and grab that data, as well as obviously interviews with the people involved.
Unknown at this point is whether the captain of that tow vessel is the same one involved in those past incidents. Right now, Coast Guard investigators are not releasing the captain's names, but they say all are undergoing mandatory drug and alcohol screening, as is protocol after an accident like this. Also, government officials haven't yet put a price tag on the cost of this operation, but they say right now Kirby Inland Marine is footing the bill for the response and cleanup efforts going on right now. Coast Guard officials also add whoever is found ultimately responsible for this spill will be required to reimburse the taxpayers. We are live on the Texas City Dike. Robert Arnold, KPRC Local 2.